Welcome one and all. I'm Hunter, and I'm terribly sorry if I look tired today, which is great for today's topic, the second year of being a student. So, some of you might have started just like me a month ago to this second year journey, if you're a student, that is, and some of you might just start now. I heard that some of other countries start like a lot later than what we do here. But anyways, second year is a charm because after in the first year like feeling depressed or getting beaten down by the classes and understanding that university is actually quite different, you come to the second year after your wonderful, which was not that wonderful sometimes, summer break, and you feel like this time it will be different because you made yourself a promise. You're gonna study this time, you're gonna pass all these exams, and not only pass, you're gonna be in the top five or whatever the goal is that you set to yourself. And it's just gonna be different because now you know what to expect, now you know what to do, and you come here and you realize it's all a joke. So, as the previous statement went, the second year is different in the aspect that you are familiar with the place now. Does it add anything to you? It does, but not academically. Don't get that part wrong. The problem is, you come here and you're like, yeah, first week, let's see what has changed. Let's talk with my old friends. Let's see who the what. Let's meet other people, the freshmen. And you feel a little confident because you're like, yeah, I've been here. Yeah, I know what I'm gonna do, etc. And then this motivation goes on, and you kind of forget that you wanted to start studying at some point. But the study part aspect aside, it's at least more comfortable. Like personally saying, the first year was, of course, the studies themselves are hard, they should be hard, but so was the atmosphere, so was being in a different country, far away from all the friends that I had, far away from my family, and kind of, you know, I'm a little emotional, and if you're that way, you will feel a little sad every time you put your head to the bed and just stare at the ceiling and be like, man, I wish I could hang out with my friends, or something along those lines. You'll spend a lot of time figuring out what store is where are the interesting places for you to visit. For instance, for me, I was looking for the park. I kind of like nature and those sorts of things, like sitting by a lake or something. Took me a while, and thankfully this year when I come here, I already know what is around me, and when I feel like going somewhere, I can right away do that without having the need to open Google Maps, which is basically being a tourist 101 nowadays. So, but when it comes to the studies, of course, from the last year, I hope to other student fellows of mine, you fixed everything from last year in terms of you didn't fail anything. And that's great. I have some people who did either fail or take excuses and have to retake the exams. That is a big trouble. Like, if you are like before university student, like a high school or something, or this is your first year, just keep that in mind. Don't skip your exams. It's just work, you'll make it. Don't leave it till later because later you don't work, you will just have so much other stuff to do. But there is a charm to being a second year. You see, when the freshmen arrive and they start just wondering about what's going on, oh my god, you can be the badass person and be like, I know the answer. And I mean, that's as far as it goes. But P.S., you need to be social for that. And you kind of start feeling old too. It gets me to the point, like, for instance, I mentioned before, I'm not a party person and I'm not the most social person either. And what I remember from last year, the group of friends that I had, we more or less did nothing, and the parties that were happening, we were kind of away from them. Not many people went, and now when freshies came and everybody started partying so much, I just sat there and I was like, we weren't like that when we came. These guys are so energetic. Are we getting old or something? I feel like I'm 60. And I just can't imagine what it feels like to be a third year or fourth. But matter of fact, I'm gonna have only 3 years, so it's kind of horrifying for me the fact that half of my study is over, technically. And yeah, this is the point where you should start considering also, like in the first year, you were somewhat learning basics and didn't know exactly what your study area will be, like when it's crammed down to a specific direction. And especially if you come from a country which doesn't give you much opportunities to try different jobs, but rather just focuses you on classes, 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 then you don't have the idea what you're gonna do next. Well, kind of that happened to me, and if you are also in the both with that, if you don't specifically know what it feels like to work on the specific thing, on a specific job which for which you're studying right now, the second year is where you will start thinking, is this the right choice? I mean, in the first year, we might have changed your classes or like taken a different major, but still, the second year is where you start realizing whether you will be able to pull it off as a job or you'll be just going to this 9 to 5 and dying inside the more you work. And that's the problem at this point. You're like, hey, if I'm not happy with this, am I getting like too late to change it? Or is it fine and you're just stuck in this dilemma? So guys, just keep in mind, if you're maybe for that, try some things out. Like, don't leave it to here. Don't leave it to university, because once the studies start, you don't have much time to focus on different things in general. And like as I said, the great that it's on topic, me being tired, I literally barely slept because I had to finish 2 assignments for today, and before that, during the weekend, I also had 3 more. University, it's fun, but it's fun if you know how to program and like plan your schedule. So guys, I'm starving, I better go eat. So I'll see you in another video, and I wish you a wonderful second year for my other second year students, or a wonderful day to everyone who's passed through these roads or will be passing in the future.